You yourself can be amazing. We all have baggage that we bring up from our childhood. It doesn't mean that we have to live with it. We can clear that out and begin that new beginning that I was just talking about.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Kevin Martin. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful morning?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. It is a tremendous Tuesday today.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in the area of Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, all right. Not far from us, right? A couple of hours away in the Caribbean. That's wonderful. Do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
My talent as a hypnotherapist.
Ooh, now I do see in the image here, you have the clock in your hand. It's a clock, right? And that item that you use, right? Tell us more.
It's a pocket watch, and that's really a stereotype. That is what hypnotists used to use back in the day. I use it just when I do talks because people think of someone with a pocket watch waving in front of their eyes.
Yeah, Hollywood did that for us, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, tell us exactly how you use hypnotherapy to help others.
Well, hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming, which I am a master practitioner, is a way to communicate with the subconscious mind. And that's the part of us that does all the automatic things, the habits and everything. And that's typically what people come in for. They have habits and they have, triggers or whatever it is, and they can't control them. So they come in to me and say, okay, how can we do this?
Hmm. Now, what you're doing takes some level of commitment in wanting to help others. Who did you learn that from? Was it someone in your family earlier on who did it or didn't do it that inspired you to be this person?
Oh, okay. Who did it is actually my son inspired me. My son, we adopted at 5.5, and lots of abuse in his past. And as he grew older and older, he had so many issues. And I found out that this thing called NLP might be the answer. And so I went and got trained, and I actually went and hired somebody because I wasn't the proper person to work with my own son. And it was phenomenal. It was a miracle. In
Hmm.
an extremely short time, my son transformed. And I said to myself at that moment, I said, I want to be helping people just like this.
That's amazing. Well, where can people connect to find out more?
Connect with me to find out more. My company is called Positive Effects Coaching and Hypnosis. Positive effects means something to me. It means that, I'm having positive effects on others and hopefully positive effects on the world. So the website is www.posefects.com.
Now that you've been on the two sides of the scenario, having the knowledge that you have and looking back at when you didn't have that knowledge, why will you continue along this path of helping people through both NLP and hypnotherapy?
Oh, my first answer that came up was, why not?
Mm.
I have since then, for the past 12, almost 15 years, I have been helping people, and it's been amazing to me to see how this works and how our own subconscious works. And people come to me with in dire need sometimes. Sometimes I'm the last to try. They said I've tried everything else, and I can help them get, retain their normal life again. It's
Mm.
just so amazing. There's no way I would not do this.
Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Over the last 3 years, consistently, that's an interesting thing. I have been on a journey of gaining knowledge. I haven't been counting how many books I've read and or listened to, um, but I've been gaining knowledge on human nature, on the mind, on society,
Hmm.
and on personal development. And it's been a tremendous, tremendous journey.
How does it make you feel looking back from now to then to see the knowledge you've encountered?
It just feels so incredible because I started this a couple of years ago. I said this year I'm going to learn as much as I can, and then I continued year after year, and it's incredible how much knowledge I've gained and how much knowledge there still is to gain.
Hmm. What would you suggest to someone that's listening that they even consider possibly not all the books you've read, but at least inculcating that habit that they do read? Why would you suggest they do that?
Uh, because I personally believe that we need to grow. We need to grow ourselves, be it mentally, spiritually, or whatever. Because if we're not growing, we're dying inside. So I would suggest that, yes, start reading a few books and get out there and do that. Even if you're reading fiction books that actually take you throughout the world, that's my belief. If you're going to read fiction, read really good fiction that has great descriptions of different places in the world, such as where you live, Angel. That is a wonderful, most beautiful area in this part of the world.
Yeah. Well, let's definitely then switch gears and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm blue Caribbean water. Kevin, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory. Wow. You know, I have this memory, and it's more a little bit less visual than it is olfactory. I remember I grew up in a small suburb, but there's a lot of farmland. And I remember in the spring just smelling the dew on the grass. And I can picture all green grass. It wasn't an event, but it was more of a feeling.
Hmm.
And it was an incredible feeling. I don't know, at a young age, I don't know that I could comprehend, the newness of everything, but it's a feeling that comes back to me every time I do drive through farmlands in the spring. And that's one of the earliest memories I have.
How old do you think you were?
I probably was less than 6.
Wow. So, how do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
As we speak, I'm thinking that that was kind of like the beginning of spring because it was a dew on fresh green grass. And I think it relates to me as constantly starting beginnings,
Hmm.
constantly having beginnings in my life of different natures.
That's super cool. It's great
Yeah.
that you're helping others understand that they can have a new beginning, right? That those that are struggling with whatever the challenge may be, you said that most of the times they say, well, I've tried everything else, right?
Yes.
And now I'm here with you, and to see that you're opening them up to the possibility and the opportunity of new beginnings, it's really cool how that connects.
Yes, yes, it is. It really is.
All right. Well, if we fast forwarded to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
When I was 12, my favorite song was Brandy.
All right. All right. What song from Brandy?
Oh, actually, the song was.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm like, all right, that puts you around what age? Because Brandy is an artist that I know, right? So my apologies. So the name of the song is Brandy. Are you aware of who sang that?
I apologize that I don't, but it was a song. I was 12 years old, and there was this girl that I liked a lot, and her name wasn't Brandy, but I kind of focused the song on her. Brandy was about this girl who loved this sailor, and she just couldn't have him because he loved the sea too much, and that's where he wanted to be. And I don't know why it took to me, but I loved it.
All right. All right. This is like a slow song, isn't it? I think it's the OJs.
It might be. It
Yeah.
might be.
All right, all right, all right. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Kevin?
I am.
Kevin, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Um, yes, I would love to pass my skills on to one of my sons.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
So you said you have children. Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do. I have a wonderful inner circle of friends who do very much like I do, and they're so supportive.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Do you want the truth? I gotta confess. Some days, and more than not, I do.
All right, all right. What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Well, since the computer is part of my work, and so it can be more than 8 hours a day.
All
But
right.
it's not all social media. It's part of my work. I'm constantly on the screen.
All right, Kevin. Well, it's been such of a great pleasure having this conversation. If you had to share with us, though, your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Kevin Martin, what would you say that is?
Well, my mission statement, and I've been aware of this for a long time, is to help enough people as I can to help themselves.
That's beautiful. Again, Kevin, a great pleasure. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I would like to share that, you yourself can be amazing. We all have baggage that we bring up from our childhood. It doesn't mean that we have to live with it. We can clear that out and begin that new beginning that I was just talking about.
Again, Kevin Martin, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.